So, two words for you guys here, guys and girls. Social media. Who's heard of it? Who's heard of it? Social media. Yeah? Okay, if you've heard of social media, after 3, I want you to shout, press for progress. 1, 2, 3. Very, very good. So social media, our next speaker is social media strategist and multiple business owner. She has over 54,000 followers on Instagram, where she talks about the latest fashion trends, new hotspots, and trending news in Qatar. Anyone here thought of being more successful by being more social media savvy? I know I have. Welcoming Ala, aka Lulu Mohammad Ali, to the stage, who's going to talk to us about that and more.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for having me here. Allow me to introduce myself. I'll give you a brief about myself, and then we can talk about how social media helped me with my career. So my name is Ala Mohammad Ali. Everyone knows me as Lulu. I've been using that name basically since I was born. I'm almost 28, turned 28 on Saturday, and I'm half Lebanese, half Syrian. I'll give you a history on my educational background. So I studied in QIS here, high school, primary, and then I decided I wanted to do fashion design for my major. Partly because both sides of my family also specialize in fashion design. We have industries from both sides that are very successful. So I just assumed this would be the world for me. I went to VCU for 2 years. The first year was design. Second year, specialized in fashion. But something felt off. I loved it. I knew I had to be in it, but I just didn't feel like this is something that I wanted to pursue my career in. So then one thing led to another. I was having second thoughts about my major. And then all of a sudden, I decided to give it another chance. So I spoke to my instructor and she said, you know what, we'll send you for your internship in Lebanon. I decided to go to Lebanon because I felt like the fashion world was very strong there and I could learn so much and bring it back here. So I decided to go work for a new upcoming designer called Ali Al-Khashan. The second I landed in Beirut airport, the first thing I saw as I walked out was billboards, 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 marketing, marketing. They used marketing everywhere, on the floor, on the ceiling, on the stairs. Something felt right about me being there. So I started working and working and working, and I did my internship for about a month. And then partly my stay there helped me decide that, you know what, maybe fashion is not for me. I love it. I potentially want to work in it in the future, but I saw more, I wanted to be more creative in other ways. So I decided, you know what, I love VCU, I love studying there, but I feel like I need to do something else. So I decided to transfer to the University of, the Lebanese University in Lebanon and do marketing as a major. So I completely shifted careers, I completely shifted majors, and I started doing that instead. As I grew year by year, learning more about marketing, I decided that, you know what, I can actually pursue a career in that and link it with fashion in the future. My last year before I graduated, as social media was growing, you guys know that Instagram became a thing around 2011, 2012. I decided to start my own page online, which was called Qatar Street Style at the time. So my last year at uni was kind of like posting and reposting other people's content. I'd ask people to tag me in their outfits and I would just post them online. And that helped my page to grow bit by bit. Followers started to increase and I kind of wanted to build my audience before I went back to Doha so I could start working. One thing led to another. I started getting a lot of deals, business deals with a lot of clients. My first one, which was a really, really, really huge client for me, especially someone starting with about 2,000 followers, was Salam Stores. They kind of, I mean, we worked together on Salam Stores. I worked with a lot of influencers on Salam Stores. They contacted me and they said, you know what, you're always posting behind the scenes, you're posting a lot of people's content. Why don't we put you on the front of this campaign? Why don't you use your picture, your story, your life on this campaign to promote the spring summer fashion for us? And I was like, why not? It's something a bit different. I'm used to always being behind the scenes. Let's do this for a change. worked with them, and all of a sudden, this is when my life transitioned from someone who was just merely using social media as a tool to someone that was using social media as a career. And my career started moving up and up and up from there. I got approached by Adidas, I got approached by Nike, I got approached by Turkish Airlines, I got approached by Maserati, and then I realized that this could be a career for me. So bit by bit, year by year, I started growing in the domain of social media. I started understanding the way people think, the way customers think, the way brands think, and then I decided, let's throw an event. I wanted to do something for breast cancer. So the year of 2015, we decided to do a huge event for breast cancer called Connect. We invited 400 people, 700 people showed up. It was the most successful event that I've ever pulled off. And I was so proud of myself and said, you know what, I am gonna start a company. I wanna do this right. I know I can do it. It seems successful. And I went ahead and I did it. So in 2015, late 2015, beginning of 2016, using social media as a tool, I then started my agency, Paradigm. Paradigm was a social media agency. We did events, we did marketing, and I was able to use my experience as a social media platform to help brands grow and to reach clients directly. You guys know how important social media is. You access it every day. We basically live on our phones, so what better way to send a message to your target market than on social media, than on your phones? Back in the day, I mean, it's still kind of successful, billboards, TVs, other traditional forms of marketing, but social media carved and paved the way for people to be able to directly reach the person's screen. We're always scrolling, we're always being filled and showered with content. So I decided I wanted to pursue that as my career. Started growing, I worked with a lot of brands, and I started working with influencers and using myself as a support for a lot of these brands. So let's say I managed someone's social media platform, I would add myself as a support for these brands, and things started going up from there. Later on, as I realized that social media did benefit me in a way, but it also put a lot of expectations and pressure on me, which was good, because in reality, my personality is very different from the personality I strive to be. Like, for example, I'm a shy person in reality, but I push myself to achieve these expectations by pushing myself every day out of bed. Me standing on stage here could be a little bit difficult, but again, expectations, social media, I need to reach there. So it was good for me, the pressure that I put on myself and the pressure that helped me start a company just by using a social media platform. The expectations were set and I had to meet that. Also, what is also a bit interesting is that I do have a lazy factor to my personality, but again, social media, expectations, I had to push through, I had to carve the way, I had to reach a level which I wanted to kind of push myself out of. I needed to get out of my lazy zone. So although social media has its disadvantages, it was also very, 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 very good for me. I was able to reach people's homes. I was able to reach people's phones. I was able to reach people's platforms just by using communication skills, companies, and other forms of interpretation when it comes to brands. Later on, as I started to develop the agency, I realized that I wanted to, although pursue my dream in social media, I decided I wanted to do something a bit more me. So recently, about a month ago, I left my company and I started a new one, which is, by the way, launching in October 1st, Paradox Agency, which also focuses on social media as a brand, but also on events and content creation. So I was kind of doing the same thing. So basically, moral of the story for me was that social media did help me grow. And not only did it help me open one company, but two in the span of 3 years. And it gave me the confidence to be able to reach not only the clients through social media, but I was able to reach the customers. So I had a bit of both. And for me, social media was always a means to an end. And thankfully, I knew I always wanted to do something with my platform on social media. I always wanted to have it reach and take me places with success in the end. And eventually, alhamdulillah, it helped me carve the way and reach levels in my life that I didn't think I would. So moral of the story, again, is that no matter what, nothing can stop in your way. You can always be more successful. You can always push yourself. You can always put yourself out there. You can always exceed your expectations. And even if you feel like you can't do it, there's always a way to do it. Thank you so much.